Hello everybody, my name is Zool, and welcome to another episode of the 2017 edition of Modding Fallout New Vegas using Mod Organizer. In today's episode, we are going to be enhancing the faces and the friends we meet in the Wasteland, and we're going to be adding a new companion. I introduced that really weird, but let's just ignore that and get to the mods. We're going to be using a mod called the Fallout Character Overhaul to enhance not only the main character's face, which you can see here, but all the characters throughout the Wasteland. It's an awesome mod, and I pretty much can't imagine why you would mod without or play the game without it, because your characters look kind of like potatoes without it, and it brings the game to a much more realistic level. Here's just a couple of examples that I got. All of them look fantastic, with great, skin, depth, highlights. You can see it on the screen. You know exactly what they look like. We're also going to be adding a small mod that enhances the burned man. It takes him from looking really weird to looking like he's wearing bandages and was burned. And then finally, we're going to be adding a new companion. This new companion is called Willow, and she is awesome. I want to do a full showcase on Willow at some point in the future, but this is a really amazing mod with a fully voiced character that you can hire. You can have all these great interactions with her. There's a quest to go around. She can do all sorts of other things. It's hard to explain, and I don't really want to spoil it, but basically you go out to this abandoned tent, meet Willow, solve a quest for her, and there you go. You can even do interesting things like piss her off so much that she leaves and never comes back, or piss her off and then she makes you do a really long and tedious quest to, get your forgiveness. I'll leave you to look more into the depth of Willow, but I will be covering it in a future episode. So let's get to how to actually install this stuff, shall we? Alright, it's time for the downloading experience. I'm sure we're all familiar with this by now, but let's get going with it anyways. Head over to the Files section on the Willow Better Companion Experience page, linked in the description. We're going to grab two files from this page. First one, the NV Willow version 1.10. Download that with Manager. Then we're going to scroll down past all the optional files into the miscellaneous files section, where we are going to find the Willow Project Nevada Rebalance Pack. This is just a Project Nevada rebalance, so since we're using that in this pack, we're going to be using that with this mod. Download that with Manager as well. Next up, head over to the Authentic Burned Man page. Click on the Files section and download this with Manager. That's pretty much it. It's a very basic mod. And then finally, we are going to download the Fallout Character Overhaul. This is going to be a big file, but that's fine. Just head over to the page and click on the Download with Manager button. It'll just take a moment here. Click Continue with my download. Then we're also going to download the update, the Fallout Character Overhaul 3.01. Download that with Manager, and we should be good to go. Okay, as far as the installation process goes, the first thing we need to do is head on over to the Downloads tab in Mod Organizer and double-click on the Willow file. From here, what we're going to need to do is install, clicking Manual and setting the data directory, and then hitting OK. Willow will extract, and then after a few moments, it will be ready to go. After we have done that, we are going to go ahead and install the zip file for the Project Nevada Rebalance compatibility thingamajig. So double click on that, hit Manual. It should be packaged correctly, click OK. When it asks you to merge, click Merge. Then you can go ahead and check it off in the file. After that, the Authentic Burned Man. Hit Manual on that one, set the data directory, and hit OK. It's a very simple file, should only take a moment. Next up, it's time to install the Fallout Character Overhaul. So go ahead and find version 3.0 and double click on that to launch the external installer. From here, you'll reach a page that looks a little something like this, and then you can go ahead and hit Next. After that, we have a couple of options that we're going to select. We're going to select the Animated Sweat Effect add-on here. You can actually see what each of these add-ons do, by the way, by just mousing over them. And we're going to select the Dirty Textures for the teeth. Under options, there is a few different things for different body mods and things like that. So I'm going to select the hair textures. So this will give you higher resolution for the hairs, but nothing else. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit Next. After that, we reach this page here, which has a couple of options as well. We do have After School Special installed, so we are going to select that. And we have the New Bison Steve Hotel. If you mouse over the companions here, you'll notice that Willow should be already selected. Make sure that's checked off as well because we did just install Willow. After that, go ahead and hit next and it will begin to install. This can take a little while because this is a fairly big mod, so I'm going to cut ahead to when it's done. After we've done that, we need to install the version 3.0.1, which installed up here on my screen for some reason. So double click on that, hit manual, and set the data directory, then hit OK. After that, hit merge. Now, there's one thing about that scripted installer that I don't like, and that is the fact that it has a tendency to add in a bunch of extra files that we don't need. In order to remove those, we're going to double click on the Fallout Character Overhaul in the main pane, and click on the optional ESP section. And yep, how's about that? There's a bunch of things in here that we don't actually want. We're going to take out this OSB, whatever, the Willow KZ, and the Russell file here. So the only files we need are the After School Special, NPC Changes, New Bison Steve, Willow, and Master. Go ahead and close that, and now you can check it off. Remember that you need to use loot for your load order. Now that we have all the mods installed, there's still a little bit more work to do. In order to avoid the pale faces bug that can come up sometimes, we're going to make sure the following things are done. First of all, you need to make sure that automatic archive and validation is activated by clicking on the manage button right here and checking to make sure it's checked off in whatever profile you're using. If you followed this guide from the beginning, you should already have this done, but I know some people tend to miss that step occasionally, so I'm covering it again. We're also going to need to make a change to our ini files. To do this, you're going to click on the puzzle pieces right here and open up the ini editor. Then you're going to hit Ctrl F, and from there type the following: bload face gen head EGT files. Click Find Next, and it should take you to something underneath the General tab. Bload face gen head EGT files. If this says equals to 0, you need to change it to say equals to 1. Then you're going to go ahead and copy this. Once it's in your fallout.ini, we're going to go over to our fallout prefs.ini and see if we can find that same entry. Now in my case I can't, and the reasoning for this is that the entry is currently not present. If that's the case for you, just go ahead and add it. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to come back here, we're going to grab general, we're going to paste that here, leave a space in between. So we should have an entry that is labeled general, and then it should say bload face gen head EGT files equals to 1. Once this line is present in both of our INIs, we're going to hit save and X out of it. It's going to ask us if we'd like to update them. Go ahead and hit yes, and we're good to go. Now that we've done that, you shouldn't experience that bug. However, if you do for some reason see a character with dark skin and a very pale white face, you may need to install another form of archive and validation. The one with Mod Organizer can sometimes not work for people. I've heard reports of that in some of my other video series. So if that's the case, leave a comment down below and I'll try and help you out. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you're wondering what to watch next, I have provided 2 videos for you. You can click them right here. Get subscribed by clicking on that circle icon and subscribing to my channel, and please follow myself and Shoelace on the social medias that you see above. Thank you, and have an excellent day.